Have you ever planned something and then the weather changes on you? So then you come up with an alternative plan and then it changes back and you're hoping you can do your original plan? Well, that's today's dinner. Hello family, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am Vicki and you're with Grammy in the kitchen. So all week I was planning on cutting up a whole chicken, putting it in the SunOven with some seasonings and let it cook. But then it started raining this morning. So I looked at the weather. We were going to have mostly sunny between 12 and 1 today. But then I looked again and it says cloudy all day. Not mostly cloudy, but cloudy. And I look outside and the sun is shining. So the question is, do I go with my original plan or the alternative plan or go back to the original plan? I have the SunOven outside warming up. I'm going to cut a chicken, and if the sun is still out when we're ready to cook our chicken, we're cooking outside. I don't know how long this is going to take, but we're going to attempt that. We're going to make a garlic cream sauce chicken today. We're going to cook the chicken outside, and then we're going to make the garlic sauce inside, that's stovetop, and then we're going to add our cooked chicken to it. Let's see how far we get this outside before we have to move it inside. So I got a chicken thawed. Let's go ahead and get it all chopped up. So I have a kitchen knife and some kitchen shears. We're going to need both of these. Alright, so here's our whole chicken. We're going to cut him up into cut up chicken portions. So I'm going to remove this leg first. If you don't have any kitchen shears, I highly suggest it. It comes in handy more times than not. I'm using the scissors to cut through the skin, and I'm using the knife to cut through everything else. So I'm going to remove this leg quarter. I'm going to remove the other leg quarter. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the wings. I'm just letting the gravity do its job. Just holding it by its wing till we can get it broken away from the breast meat. Alright, now we're going to do the other wing. Just cutting it all the way around so I can get that wing free from the rest of the meat. Right now I'm going to remove the breast meat from the backbone by using kitchen shears. And kitchen shears just cuts through those bones very easy. But be careful, the bones are going to be sharp. You do not want to cut your hand with those. Then I'm just going to break it open. Cutting down either side. Trying to find out what's holding it together. Alright, that bone is not going to cut. Alright, so we'll cut on this side of the bone. We got a Ziploc bag. I'm going to put the whole backbone. You want to save that for chicken stock. Okay, now we have our breast meat. I am going to de-skin it because I don't need skin for this recipe. So there's a breastbone right here. I do want to separate this. Just getting rid of all the bits and pieces I don't want in my chicken dinner. We're going to cut down to the bone. Now, I've never done this with local harvest chicken. I've only done it with, chicken you buy conventional, but, in an organic manner. All right, the wishbone is right here. on that breastbone, and I'm just adding some pressure. Alright, I got that wishbone cut. Okay, we got it cut. These are a pretty good sized breast meat, so I'm going to cut this in half. Okay, 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and get our other side cut. Remove this piece of bone right here. Alright, now I want to cut this one in half also. I want to cut our leg quarters into drumsticks and thighs. That's our thigh. Removing the excess skin off of the thighs because we don't need all that. Alright, our leg quarter, our drumsticks. And now the other thigh. And now our wings. This is our wing. Any kind of feathers or anything, I'm just going to go ahead and try to get as much of that off as I can. The wing tips. We're going to save for our stock. We are going to separate our wing pieces. Don't know what I'm doing there. Okay, that goes in the bag. Alright, so everything is in the pot. Let me clean my station and I'll be right back. My chicken scraps are going to go in the freezer. So we're going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of pepper. And a whole teaspoon of Italian seasoning. We're going to add a good drizzle of olive oil. We have the lid on. And now we're going to take this outside to the SunOven. Alright, so it's reading 200 degrees. Need to make sure we're lined up to the sun. Okay, we are lined up. Temperature's rising. It's at 225. It's at 225 at the moment. Every 15 minutes, we're going to come out here and check on it to make sure it's still lined up to the sun. But I think I might have enough sun to actually cook this. Let's go ahead and log down the time and see how long this takes. Alright, so it's 11:19 a.m. We'll go out there and check it about every 15-20 minutes, see if we need to adjust it to get maximum sun exposure. And then when it's almost ready, and the way you could tell when your food in the SunOven is ready is that the glass top will start condensating on the inside, which means all the energy going into the SunOven is no longer needed to cook what you have in there. So it's going to end up creating water, condensation. So when it starts condensating, chances are your food is cooked. We will take the temperature of the chicken to make sure it is done before we consume it. But when the sun energy is not needed to cook the ingredients or cook the item in your SunOven, the energy will go to make condensation. Does that make any sense? Leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see if I can answer them or lead you into a direction of where the answers can be found. But if you don't have a SunOven or a means to cook off grid, I highly suggest you do that, because it's the middle of the summer, it's hot, I want baked chicken. I don't want to turn on my oven to have a baked chicken and heat my house up, which means the air conditioner has to work harder to cool it back down. I can just cook outside. It's free energy. and it's not heating my house up. Alright, so I'll let you know how long that took, and then we're going to go ahead and get started on the cream sauce when it gets closer to being done. Okay, so the chicken has been in the SunOven for about an hour and a half. It's reached 250 degrees and it's staying consistent. I am going out there every 30 minutes to just move it, adjust the height to make sure we're getting maximum sun exposure. But it's not done yet. We're going to go ahead and get started on the risotto. Now, if you think risotto is hard to do, it really isn't. I'm just using a jasmine rice and my chicken stock. I have a quart of chicken stock in a pot on one burner, and we're going to cook the rice on another burner. This is the pot we're using. So over here I have the chicken stock, and here we're going to cook the risotto. So we're going to start off with about 2 tablespoons of butter. Oop, not the back side, just the front side. I'll put a little bit of olive oil in here also. I do want to toast our rice. I have a cup of rice going in. We're going to turn that to a medium low. Now the key to risotto, you add 1 cup of chicken stock to your rice at a time. Let that cook away. Then you add another cup and you let that cook away so that it's slowly cooking the rice, and it brings out the starches in the rice so that it's nice and creamy. Then we're going to finish it with a pack of peas. This is 8 ounces. I have 2 pieces of rind from a good quality Italian Parmesan that a friend gave me a couple years ago because he doesn't use the rinds. This doesn't have any wax on it. It's just harder than the Parmesan cheese because it's aged. But we're going to use 2 of these pieces, and they're probably about maybe 5 inches by 1.5 inches. I don't know. So our chicken stock has come to a boil. I'm going to turn that down a bit just so it stays warm. We're still toasting rice here. I've got rice going everywhere, but that's okay. It's okay. We got this. Let's go ahead and add some salt and some pepper. Alright, can you do me a favor? Can y'all keep an eye on this while I run outside and check on that SunOven? I'll be right back. I had to give it just a little turn. Thank you for watching this. Oh, and we're getting some color on the rice. That is perfect. The key to get a really good toast on your rice is after you stir it, you leave it alone. Then you stir it and you leave it alone. So when it's sitting in the one spot, that's when it's getting toasted. Alright, we're going to stir. It is definitely browner. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I think you can. I'm gonna let it go just a little bit longer. My cat is starving. Morty, you're not starving. Y'all are probably wondering, oh my goodness, Grammy, you didn't put garlic in here. I know. Because we're going to use a lot of garlic in our cream sauce for the chicken, I don't want the rice to be garlic. So, give or take. We're not putting garlic in our rice because it's going to be in the cream sauce. Okay, that looks good. Can you see it? See how dark it is? Oh, beautiful. The first cup is going to be splattery. So we want to be super careful. So we're going to get a ladle of chicken stock. And we're just going to cook this until all the liquid evaporates. And we're just going to continue this process. Now when you move the rice and you can still see a little bit of liquid seeping out from underneath of it, we're not ready to add any more to it yet. So we're just gonna let this cook. This is patience and love. Can you see? I am not seeing any residual liquid coming from underneath the rice. I'm going to go ahead and add another ladle. We're going to go ahead and drop our rinds in so they can start melting into this delicious rice. Now, if you have Parmesan cheese, you can use that. I am all out of my wedges of Parmesan cheese until I get my Azure order, which I can't wait. But I know I have those rinds as a backup, so it's okay. It's okay. We got this. And as for a little flavor booster, I'm using some vegetable broth powder. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons. The cheese is dissolving in here. Beautiful. If you can smell this, it would be divine. Alright, so that was 4 cups of chicken stock. I'm going to wait till that portion of the chicken stock evaporates and then test the rice to see if it's done. And if it's not done, then we'll just add some water. Because we have enough flavor in here with the 4 cups of chicken stock, the Parmesan rind, and with the vegetable broth powder. And then of course we'll taste it for salt and pepper. I'm going to go ahead and get some water just so that could be heating up just in case we do need it. All right, let's taste it for flavoring and doneness. It's not done, but the flavor is spot on delicious. I want to show you the rind. So that's one of the rinds that is still hasn't dissolved. The other one is pretty much gone. Adding a ladle of water. Now I'm going to go ahead and add 8 ounces of peas. Now if you have mushrooms, you can add mushrooms. You can add peppers. You can add whatever you want. You make this fit your family. So that's the last of the big piece of rind that's got to cook down. Alright, it's getting there very slowly, but it's getting there. It's starting to stick on the bottom. So I'm going to switch back to the wooden one just so I can give it a good scrape. And that's just the cheese trying to stick to the bottom. Yes, Morty is still meowing, but he's not hungry because Dad got up and fed him. Alright, let me check for doneness. Nope, not quite. Now I need to go outside and check on that SunOven one more time. Almost all the liquid is gone. Let's give it a taste. Perfect. Perfect. So I'm going to cook it until every bit of that liquid is gone and it's creamy and not wet. Because when you go in here and you move it, there's still some water in here. There's still some liquid. Okay, I have the burner off and I have a little bit of fresh basil that I'm going to cut up and put in here. I love basil. I'm going to put the lid on this and set this aside. I'm going to use the same pan that we used for the chicken stock and the water. Right, so we're going to put 2 tablespoons of butter, medium-low heat. We're going to add one of our garlic pucks, or you can use fresh garlic if you like. And we're just going to saute the garlic in here just a bit, and then we're going to move on. I absolutely love the smell of garlic. So I'm just got one of the garlic pucks in with the butter, and I'm just trying to melt it, thaw it out, and saute it just a bit. If I had to guess how many cloves of garlic that puck was, I would say between 3 and 4. But adjust the recipe to your family's liking. I love garlic. Okay, our garlic has some color to it. I'm going to add a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Let's toast the seasoning in here. Just a bit. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. Now you can use chicken stock or any kind of stock you like. I don't have any open, so I'm not going to open it just for 1 cup. So I'm going to add vegetable broth powder and a cup of water. And now we're going to add a cup of heavy cream. This is about 3 cups in here. That does not need any salt or pepper. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take that off the burner. I'm gonna put a lid on that, set that aside. And now we're just waiting on the chicken to finish outside, and then dinner's ready. We can make a plate and enjoy this delicious meal. Okay, it got way too cloudy, so I'm bringing it in, and I'm gonna go ahead and check the temperature to see if we need to finish cooking this in the house. I'm not gonna lie, it is disappointing, but I don't want to lose the meat while I'm waiting on the sun. Alright, I can tell they're not done. Actually, I am getting way over 180 degrees. So maybe we are done. Okay, we are done. But I'm not finished. I'm going to drain this liquid. I got about 90% of that liquid out. Wow, this smells so good. We're going to add our garlic cream sauce right on top of this deliciousness. We're going to add just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. This is the last bit I have in the house. The oven is set on 350. We had this outside for 3 hours. And then the sun was going behind some clouds. It was calling for clouds and rain today, so we knew this was going to happen. Once the oven gets up to temperature, I'm going to put the chicken garlic cream sauce in the oven, and I'm going to let it cook for about another 30 minutes just to make sure the chicken is done and tender. Alright, so the chicken is done. Sorry we couldn't finish cooking this outside, but it is what it is. I have some fresh basil that I want to clip inside this beautiful chicken. If you can smell this, it is divine. So I'm just going to clip some basil in here. I love basil. That's beautiful. Yum, yum, yum. And our risotto. Ah, that looks delicious. Alright, so I'm going to get a piece of chicken. It's a piece of breast right there. Let's get a scoop of our rice. And I want to put some of this cream sauce on the rice. It can't hurt. Family, this looks so good. Right, so that is our beautiful plate. Let's give this chicken a taste. That is so good. And some of our risotto with the peas and a little bit of that garlic cream sauce. Perfectly cooked. The rice is tender. The flavor is spot on. I hope you give this garlic cream sauce chicken, whether you cook it in the SunOven or your regular oven, it doesn't matter. It is so good. The risotto with the peas, I'm a very happy person. If you don't mind, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you part of the Grammy family. And until next time, y'all have a blessed day. Bye, family. So good.